Good afternoon. It is Saturday, the 3rd of August, 2019. And in this episode, we're going to go over the damage assessment for ADA, Ripple, Tron, Litecoin, EOS, and Ethereum. They've all been hammered with Bitcoin the last couple days. Let's jump in and check it out. First of all, a quick look at the disclaimer. You can pause the video to read through it because we're just observing the market. This isn't the trading advice. First of all, we'll jump into, you see Bitcoin prices are moving up and look like they're about to blast off. Our episode this morning from the 24 hours of Bitcoin gave us a very bullish overview with all of our indicators on Bitcoin, which means that most of the altcoins are probably going to get crushed a little bit more. Here we have Bitcoin dominance. It is up to crazy levels at 66%. If we bring this back to a longer term perspective, we can see that we are right up to really important technical levels if this was a price chart. And if it goes up through this levels, there's nothing to stop it from just going swoosh right up to 77%. That'll probably take the alt down like 40% in their current price levels, I'm thinking. So let's jump into these charts and see what's going on. If you're interested in more details to do with cryptocurrency trading signals, be sure to click on the link in the description down below. We are beta testing our crypto trading signals alerts so that every time there's a signal, an email goes out, and we're putting the email into the blog right now to see how overwhelming they will be. But you can see here that all of our trades on the 4-hour time frame were closed as Bitcoin was taking off. Everything's going down and our system automatically caught up on everything. I love to see that it's all working here. You can help us test it out. Now, let's jump into ADA, and I'm starting off with a long-term view, looking at the daily charts, downtrend, and no break of the downtrend yet. We got to see a break of this downtrend line now before it's going to establish and give us something big enough to jump into. If we zoom in on the 3-month view, we can see that we got a double bottom here, and then we're going to zoom in on our other charts and we're going to look at what the indicators are telling us right at this very bottom. If we zoom in more, here's our double bottom. Good to see a few people joining in here. Van Frick, good evening. Where are you from? This is mid of the afternoon for me. So we got a double bottom here, 4-hour time frame. Now let's dig into our indicator set and see what's telling us. On this 4-hour time frame, we have a little bit of a higher RSI. It's higher than we had, no, it's actually lower than we had over here. So still, doesn't seem like there's any turnaround here. What I'm looking for now is indication that it's going to be going down further yet. So I'm looking for any kind of support that we're getting here on the smaller time frames to see what's turning up. So the RSI is getting a little bit stronger out of this bottom, but it's not establishing much for us to dig into. I wonder if, wrong chart, BitMEX, ADA, 4-hour time frame. A lot of dumping and selling going on here. So it hasn't recovered at all in the 4-hour time frame to give us a bottom formation that we could dig into. So we could see over here earlier when we did have a bit of a bottom formation starting to set up and it did break above that, we had lots of time for the on-balance volume to establish here to show us that it had created a bottom was going to go up. So like no action to take in this market right now, and I couldn't even short it because this is the short signal right here out of this 1, 2, 3 top formation with this exponential moving average crossover. That's a get out signal of the long and a short signal right there. So just observing now for ADA. Let's go back to this chart here. This is looking a lot better in this time frame where the MACD indicator is showing that this is slowing. It's losing down momentum here, which is good. Norway, greetings to Norway from Canada. So we see Bitcoin in the background here just made a little tick up and pulled back a bit. So I'm really keen to watch to see what Bitcoin is doing as we are unfolding this. So again, nothing much going on in ADA. I do want to take a look at the Ichimoku Cloud and zoom in on this, especially the 1-hour time frame. This is starting to give me, I'm starting to get familiar with the 1-hour time frame on the Ichimoku Cloud and its signals. that actually really work. So we can see that this turned out quite well. And what we're watching for here now is this trailing line to cut through the red and the blue line to cross over the red as this is going up into the cloud. And we'll watch for that over the next few days as this is unfolding. Let's go and check the other coins that we're going to do. I'm just going to do this musical start again. EOS and then ETH. So let's go back to the main chart here and go on to EOS. So we're looking at the long-term time frame of EOS, getting a long-term perspective. And I like this better because we have a better chance of having a 1, 2, 3 bottom shape up out of this right now than we do with ADA. Although, ADA is also giving us this double bottom setup. Let's go into the 3-month view, double bottom, 1-month view. So we're seeing that this not only hit a double bottom, but it's held pretty steady right here above these levels. That's nice. It gives us a staging point if it is to stage here now. So let's go into EOS with the indicators. And we're looking at the relative strength index. I want to start off in the 4-hour time frame and look for how oversold it is compared to the past. That's good. Now we need to see it create some structure here and get back up above this mid-level. Up above this mid-level, up above this mid-level, and then probably it'll create a bottom formation as we're seeing here with the RSI all the way along, that when it crosses above these levels, it's good. It's bullish. When it's crossing below these levels, it's more bearish, as we can see here. So let's watch this one over time and see how it plays out for the relative strength index on the 4-hour time frame. Now the 1-hour time frame is giving us a better divergence where we've got higher lows here and pretty much flat across here. So if this gives us some structure and builds above this level, that would be really good. It's really important levels. And we could consider that to be a trading signal if it were to break above these levels. This would give us our 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. If it were to come up here and do something like that, it would give us a couple chances to get in here or here on the retest or on the breakout. And it's a really nice setup. I like this, actually. Let's watch EOS more closely. So that's good so far. Let's go on to EOS and look at the on-balance volume to see how this is giving it to us. 4-hour time frame, lots of selling. Less here. So that's a little bit more bullish. Zoom in and we see some buying spikes. Good. So this is supporting that this could be a nice turnaround. And with this technical level, let's really watch that the next couple days. That'll give us a place to sink our teeth into it for sure. Clear that off and go to the next chart, which is my favorite, actually, the MACD indicator. So far, it's my favorite. And I'm kind of losing favor with the Ichimoku Cloud. So if you guys have a different indicator that you think should be in this routine that we check it every single day and we watch it unfold, instead of the Ichimoku Cloud, let me know. You can put it into the chat here since we're live, or you can put it into the comments down below if you're watching it later. So if you've got like a stochastic RSI or a Bollinger Bands, a couple that have been thrown around this last little while here, we'll see which one we replace this with when we go on to EOS. We're looking at the 1-hour time frame for the Ichimoku Cloud. Good here where it's a sell signal in a downtrend. Now we're coming up to the potential for that bottom formation. Watching for the green line to cross through the red and the blue, watching for the blue to cross over the red. And then, this is going to be tricky actually, because if we are looking at it to do a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout here, I guess it will have to go just above that cloud right there. It'll have to poke up and go and just touch the cloud, restage, and off we go. Awesome. So let's watch EOS over the next few days. This is good. And now Ethereum is the next one. ETH filter. Get rid of my favorites. It'll show up. There we go. So Ethereum is almost breaking to new lows, which would be catastrophic, I think. And unexpected for me too. My prediction was quite different than what we're seeing here, but it's down to new lows I was anticipating that Ethereum would be taking off and outperforming Bitcoin because I thought it was artificially sold down from all those ICOs that raised money in Ethereum and then had to sell Ethereum to cover their costs. But it's not appearing that way. It's still in a downtrend, and here is our downtrend line that we have to have it create something that breaks that line to start off with. So let's zoom in now in our indicators and see what they're telling us for Ethereum. We're looking at the relative strength index on the 1 hour time frame. You have 3 higher lows as this is making this structure. So that's the first sign that there could be a potential that this is the stopping point and we could actually be a real serious big bottom here. Let's go on to Ethereum. 4 hour time frame. Lots of selling here. No supporting buying right at this bottom point here. So if I go into the 1 hour time frame, even here, there's not much supporting buying going on in Ethereum. Not looking good. Nowhere near as good as EOS, and I'm surprised actually. Let's go to the 4 hour time frame on the Ethereum MACD indicator. Not looking good. Not giving us some nice crossovers and a double crossover here. Just the first earliest stages that it may be crossing to the positive here. And that it's above this level from here actually is pretty good. Now, get some of my bias out of the way maybe. Here is higher divergence here, and that it's crossing positive while this is going across. Hey, that's okay. That is really solid actually. Let's go into the 1 hour time frame and see. This gets even more solid now where we see the cross and then a cross to the positive. And if it crosses positive again, we've got 3 higher crosses at the same time that the RSI is giving us that divergence. Now, if we get some volume to come in, that would seal the deal. Now, let's go to the Ichimoku Cloud, and we're looking at it the 1 hour time frame. So it did give us the crossing signals here. It's a mess. There's no signal out of that, really. And now it's coming down to nothing yet. It's really got to change, crossover, build up, and go above this cloud. It's got some work to do. So Ethereum, while there's a couple indicators saying that it may be holding right where it is, it's not given us a turnaround enough yet to start building a position out of. Just watching for now. We'll catch on that one in the next few days. Let's continue on in our list. What's next, actually? Litecoin, Tron, and then Ripple. Litecoin. Let's go to the long-term LTC. Litecoin, I am very bullish in the long term. I think that it'll be hitting $800 to $1,000 each US dollar, but not right away. And the 1 day view here, let's zoom into the 3 month view. So I'm watching to see, we got a higher low here. So we have a 1, 2, 3, and a break above these levels would be really good. We were watching for that just earlier too. What was that, yesterday, 2 days ago? We were doing the video and saying in the video, if it breaks below this level, it's going to be key. And as soon as that episode was done, Litecoin started to crash out of it. Let's zoom in a little bit. So it was right out of this formation here. I got too much stuff going on in the chart here. Let me just clear it. Right out of this formation, we were watching it. Right, it was right up at the point, almost taking off. And this is where our indicators were not that bullish. We were getting a divergence and we were watching it, saying that if it were to break out of this, we're going down. If it's going to break out, it's going up with Bitcoin. But we can see that as Bitcoin gave some strength here, Litecoin faded back. Didn't have the juice to follow with it right now. So now what we're going to do is go into the indicators to see if this is starting to shape up to give us the idea that it's going to be breaking back above these levels and giving us that 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. That would be really a much bigger time frame. Really, we could sink our teeth into this. What is this? 4 hour time frame? 12 hour time frame is the real juice. This is when it really gets good and much cleaner entry points too. So we'll see. I'll bet you this exponential moving average will cross over as the prices are breaking above this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And this is on the 12 hour time frame. So this will be a really golden trading opportunity. Let's jump into Litecoin. 4 hour time frame. Are we seeing the divergences we need? Well, it's really oversold here, which is good, and it's a little higher than it was over here, but really nothing standing out at this time frame. And we can go to a 12-hour time frame in this chart, but because I'm using the futures chart from BitMEX, they're short time frame. They don't have a lot of history to them. And then the next contract starts. And you have to read up about contracts and futures contracts if you're going to be trading on BitMEX instead of just buying and selling the coin itself. So now we see the RSI does give us a little bit of a divergence on the 12-hour time frame, which is good. We'll see this start to develop and build. Once it's starting to crack above these levels, it's probably going to be breaking out. But you can see it started to and then didn't have the juice to keep going. Let's see what our other indicators are telling us. Oh, I'm going to zoom in more first. Here on the 1-hour time frame, sure, we got the higher lows going on. Good to see. Litecoin, 4-hour time frame, lots of selling, not a lot of buying all the way along here. No solid bottom with lots of buying setting up before it takes off. So that's not looking so good. Let's zoom in. Lots of selling here too, but less on this side. So that's kind of optimistic. As we zoom in more, it's still lots of big swaths of selling. Now it's a little bit picking up, but not looking strong enough in here for Litecoin. If we go into Litecoin and we're looking at the MACD indicator, also not giving us across to the positive nicely. Not as nice as we've seen in other ones. It's a little bit higher here, but the cross hasn't happened yet on the 4-hour time frame. The 1-hour time frame, this is better. We've got the cross to the positive, and the histogram is positive. So that's okay. However, it's not okay that it's lower than this one. This was a good divergence here, but now we're not showing a good divergence. But I have to wait for this side to shape up here in Litecoin. It's nowhere near as nice as EOS. EOS was when I started out this series, or just a week ago or so, EOS was looking the best. It did a nice move first, and then everything followed, but now EOS is looking the best again before everything else. Litecoin, 4-hour time frame, crossing to the negative, but a little bit late. 1-hour time frame. This one's better, where we can see it was sort of fuzzing around here. Then the green line cut through both the red and the blue, while the blue line crossed the red, and down we went. So these do add into the validity of this trade, especially when we're seeing this top formation and this stuff all building up. This was a pretty key spot right there. That's cool. Good to see. We've got a couple more to do. First of all, we'll go through TRX in the long term. TRX daily. That's a fail. So there's just nothing to do. That's it. I'm done trading it. Just because it's down to new lows, there's no 1, 2, 3 bottom. There's nothing shaping up here on TRX for a while now. So if I go to the 12-hour view, yeah, like it's down to new lows. It's a new number 1 point. There's nothing else to do for probably a week and a half if this is a market does something good. So, okay, well, we'll just look at it anyway, just to get it recorded. On balance volume on the 4-hour time frame, selling. It wasn't looking good all the way along here. As soon as we started this stream and we were reviewing this on a regular basis, it wasn't looking good right away. It was looking like stay away or then dumping right here as the crossover happened. So that this is holding its lows while we're going lower lows here is actually kind of bullish. So we will continue to watch for the bottom to shape up in TRX, but I'm not expecting it. Here we're on the 1-hour time frame. So if this green line crosses up through and the blue line crosses the red line, while this creates a bottom formation here, okay, then it could be actually bottoming. But it's got some work to do now to make a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that fits what I'm looking for. Now let's go to Ripple XRP. So it's not making new lows. That's good. 1 year view. who knows what makes this price move? This is manipulation or is this manipulation? These are crazy moves here. And then exhaustion candles all the way along and a long, slow. I was watching a video by the Crypto Sniper and he says this is the pissing off the roof pattern. Sure. Now we're gone down to these bottoms. And I want to see what's going on here. Are we getting a divergence enough that says Ripple is going to be taking off from here? Let's zoom in to Ripple on the 4-hour time frame. Pull this back. And by the way, Market Sniper wasn't looking at that particular chart when he was talking about the pissing off the roof pattern. He was looking at copper, which is going way down, indicating that the world economy is slowing down. That's a big indicator of the world economy, the usage of copper. So as the world economy gets more crazy, these altcoins are going to become an alternative investment that people are going to put money into. My bet anyway. That's why I'm working so hard at this stuff. Do I see a divergence in Litecoin? Not yet. 4-hour time frame. Not enough of a divergence here to sink my teeth into that. So we have to watch for something to develop over on this corner. If I go into the 1-hour time frame, it's okay. Sure. We've got just as much oversold in both of them. If I zoom in even more here, at least it's staying flat all the way along, giving us a little curl up. As this is coming down, RSI is staying flat, oversold, 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 which is why oversold isn't an indicator on its own, because in a downtrend, it'll stay oversold. That's supposed to. But now that it's come up a little bit, that is the switch that we're looking for. Let's go to Ripple. What is it? 4-hour time frame. Lots of selling, but it's got a good swat. This is actually the one that's got the best buying pattern all the way along in the middle of the others. So that's important to notice. As we go into the 1-hour time frame, how is this? Selling, 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 less selling. Zoom in even more. Selling, 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 but not a swath of buying coming in yet. Let's go to Ripple and look at the MACD indicator. We do have 3 higher crosses here as we have these prices in these lower lows here. So that's a little bit bullish. That it's crossing a little bit here now is also pretty good on the 4-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame looks even better. All right, now that this is crossed and held itself, that's good. So long as it's got to build a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here, and we could call that a springboard trade entry because this is a larger 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and this is the actual number 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3. So we've got 2 number 3s and consolidation right here that is picking up. So if we get a 1, 2, 3 building up out of this small time frame here, then we have a springboard pattern. So the springboard pattern is a larger 1, 2, 2, 3. It's a larger 1, 2, 3 where we have a tiny little 1, 2, 3 shape up at the number 3 point of the larger 1, 2, 3 bottom. And of course, we can't see it in this time frame here. Let's go here. Here's our larger 1, 2, 3 bottom. 1, 2, 3. And it'll be proven to be a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation only when prices break above that level. And it's going to be juicy when it does. This is going to be a great chart pattern. What are we looking at? Ripple for the on balance, the MACD indicator. Now we're into the Ichimoku, going to Ripple. Not building up to cross yet, right? We don't have this. The green line hasn't crossed over both. The blue line hasn't crossed over the red. The cloud has not twisted to green, and the prices have not gone above the cloud. So it's holding itself here, but it's not gone bullish by any means. I wonder about a shorter time frame. 15-minute. Okay, so this is different. Let me clear off that. It's more noisy though because it's so close. Then it's a sell signal. This is a sell signal. These are sells, but getting weaker. Now it's turning around to it will be a buy signal above these levels. If I zoom in on this, we can see that the green line has crossed both the red and the blue. The blue is crossed above the red, and we have a 1, 2, 3 formation on the smallest time frame here. On the 15-minute time frame, not bad. and it's also twisted to green. So Litecoin at the end of this now, which Litecoin and EOS to me look like the most favored coins. Let's jump back into Bitcoin and take a quick look at what is going on right at the moment. Really pushing against that top, but that it pulled back is kind of sketchy. Every little pullback is kind of sketchy right now because it's moved up so much. Not only has it moved up so much, but it's also in a beautiful parallel channel. And so when it touches either side of that parallel channel, it's a key moment. And now that it's floating in between, seems like it should go sideways more and just more frustration before going up higher. We'll see how that turns out. I see there are a few people joined in today, so if we get more regular at this on a regular basis, we'll capture these moves as they take off. But of course, when they're all going down, it's just a matter of capturing the information for our indicators so that we can come back here later in 6 months and watch one of these videos and say, oh, okay, now I see how this indicator always works, right? We've got all these examples of how they work with the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and that's the key. There are, what do you call the Fibonacci's that we could do? There's trend lines, there's exponential moving averages, and all of those are subjective. You can move them around anywhere you want. But when you have a failed retest of a recent high or low, it is something irrefutable in the chart. So as we're going here, we're making this 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3 fail right there. That is a key moment that you can't stretch it and change it. It's there. Once those exponential moving averages cross over, those are subjective because I could change them to something different and then take that. But so long as you have a regular pattern now that you're looking for and the indicators underneath it exactly what they're going to do when this happens, and you add it to risk control rules, that's the whole name of the game. And then practice. So if you have any other coins that you'd like me to take a quick look at, let me know. Other than that, I want to keep the regular routine of going through these same coins, go through the same routine so that we're actually going to be trading these coins on BitMEX when they give us a trading signal and follow along with them. Quick look at Bitcoin dominance. The RSI is easing off. We are getting some red candles here on the 1 hour time frame. Zoom out to the 4 hour, no red candles, but the RSI is so screaming overbought here. We'll have to just wait and see how it goes. BCH. Hey, Jamie76, good to have you along. BCH. I have trouble with BCH because which one is BCH? We got BCH ABC, we got BCH SV, and a fork of a fork is, yeah, okay. I don't know. Is this the one you want me to look at? BCH ABC? One, two, three. Binance. BCH ABC. Filter. BTC. Get rid of the filter. Okay, we got RSI is picking up. It's volatile market. It's crazy, and you want to avoid being caught into these quick trades like this. Those are killer. For me, I always, get into them late, and then it pulls back, and you go, should I sell out? You sell out, then it takes off afterwards. These are really tough trades to get into. It's one of the reasons that I instituted the exponential moving average crossover to go along with the 1, 2, 3 bottoms, because then I'm not FOMOing into these things. I just let them go by. They're like a warning note to me that something is coming and to pay attention, but it shouldn't be a trading stimulus. That's a fake. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And if you were able to buy here and sell here, sure, it's great. But the odds of that are so little that Wait for the 1, 2, 3 to shape up. So if I go on to BCH filter Bitcoin, I'm going to favorite it so it's easier to find. All right, and let's go to a 3-month view. So it's actually building some structure here. It's actually building a nice bottom formation with some supporting buying volume. A little bit of selling here as Bitcoin went up, but not as much as the other coins. So that's pretty good. Moving to the 4-hour time frame. Where is that massive spike? 15-minute time frame. Okay, massive. Look at, I don't want to jump in on those kind of spikes for sure. That's not massive at all. But we do have the consolidation. It went above this entry signal. Here is a good one. Actually, I'm glad you brought this up, Jamie. We got 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Boom. There's the breakout pattern right there. There's the buy signal. But then where should your stop loss be? Some people say keep your stop loss below the number 3 point and keep your position size small enough that you give the market room to do its wild thing and keep going. Other people say put your trade on here and then only hold if it proves you correct. If it starts coming back against you, get out. Rewatch again. And some of the fake out breakouts for the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation have made me start to recommend, instead of buying on the breakout of the 1, 2, 3, expect it's going to come back and retest the number 2 point. So we've got the number 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. There's the number 2 point, and there's our first signal, but I'm not going to jump on that because there's so often a fake out breakout. It comes up a little bit looking so good, and then it comes back and goes down further, and it just increases my workload, really jumping in and out of trades. And then I'm working for my money, and my money's not working for me. So the other part that I've said out of these 1, 2, 3 is instead of jumping in on the breakout, wait for it to come back and retest that number 2, and then buy when it's showing strength off of that. So it's already proven that it's not a fake out breakout, that it's not going to be going down below that number 2 point if it's showing strength from here. So this is a nice setup, and it could be something that's going to be moving up along with Bitcoin. But with Bitcoin dominance not easing back yet, even if we get a nice 1, 2, 3 formation in these, they're all just watches, and got to go slow on it because Bitcoin dominance is going up. We're in a downtrend with the alts, and so we got to start off with a very small position here. Good to have you along. Nodak Lojak. Got it. Took me a bit. I'm a phonic reader. So BCH ABC is shaping up, but it's got to break above these levels. It could be that its strength off of here could be a buy signal right there. But I'm hesitant until Bitcoin dominance starts to come back. And in fact, I'm hesitant on all of the alts until Bitcoin dominance breaks below this top level now. It's got a beautiful top formation. And if it does something here and breaks below it, then all of the alts will be finishing their bottom formations. They'll all be doing a low here, and they are coming up here and then making a new low here. And if Bitcoin dominance goes down, this is what the alts will do. They'll do exactly opposite, exactly the mirror image. They're hitting lows. They're coming up a little bit. Now they're testing new lows. If Bitcoin dominance does something like this, then we're going crazy. Then it's alt season full. Oh, and I really messed up this chart. Boom, boom. Back to Bitcoin. Clean up some of this. And we'll just continue to watch what the charts are doing here today. So far, EOS, out of the charts we looked at, let me bring that back up again with some music. These are the main 6 that we're looking at in this channel now. We're looking at ADA, Litecoin, EOS, Ethereum, Ripple, and Tron. over and over and over again because they're traded on BitMEX, and we can go long and we can go short. There's no short trade in these right now. There's no long trade in these right now. But I would say that EOS is probably our favorite for the nearest term. And BitMEX, EOS. Yeah, this is the most favorable, and it's not a buy signal for sure. But that it is holding along this bottom and doing what it's doing with our indicators, this is early warning that moves above this level here is going to be where our trading signal is going to be. And we'll watch for that the next few days. Doom, doom, doom. So we do have a few other coins that are looking pretty good, but not very many. And we take real care to go through all of the coins on Binance and all the coins on Poloniex and grade them all every single day. And you can see here that we have this color coding where red is fail. It's going down to new lows. Orange is near fail. It's almost going down to new lows. Gray is neutral. It's in between the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's not going down to new lows. It doesn't look like it's going to fail to new lows, but it's not a trading signal. It's sort of floating in between. When it gets up to yellow, it's almost a trading signal. It's warming up. And then when we get to green, it's something we figure we should be holding. And since we want to grow our Bitcoin, the purpose of this spreadsheet is to tell us when to hold alts and when to hold Bitcoin. The color coding says we should only be holding alts when the color code is green. Other than that, we should be holding Bitcoin because we want to grow our Bitcoin. And the only reason we're trading alts is to grow our Bitcoin. So right now we can see that a whole bunch of these have dropped out of neutral status. A whole bunch have gone back up into near fail and into fail status. So the alts are really suffering and they're on a downtrend, and this is continuing down. The most important thing from this data is when we get into the real details, we can start to see that we have 20 failing markets in Poloniex, 23 near fails, 9 of them are neutral. And these neutral coins, the alerts and the holds right now, are probably the coins that are going to be the ones that go up in the first wave when Bitcoin dominance finally does take a break and start to ease back. That's when these are going to go. And we can identify which ones they are. This is the power of this spreadsheet here that we can see over on Binance. We have 72 in fail status, up from 59 yesterday. We had 36 neutral down to 25 here. So this is really splitting us out and giving us a divergence in the coins. So there's 25 of these that are going to be the first of the 150 coins on Binance to be going up in the first bull wave. And these 72, they're probably going to be the third or the second wave. And we can trade these ones up until they hit their top formation, cross over on the 4-hour EMA, and then be taking that money and putting it over into the second wave or third wave markets that are only then just breaking out of their 1, 2, 3 bottoms. So we have a long-term plan of how we're going to be approaching this. But for now, until we move up into the green status, there's nothing to do here but just continue to watch it and observe it over time. If you're interested in this study and you'd like to access this every day, we are making this available to people who are our patron sponsors. And I'm very happy to have AOL Chandra helping me out on this. We are going through this on a daily basis and really checking out the charts and the details, really getting it down. It's awesome. So, where does that leave us? Watching Bitcoin dominance, and hopefully most of our trades are in Bitcoin right now because Bitcoin has been the king. And looks like the king is going to be staging up another range up from here as well. This doesn't seem to be done. And that it's breaking past these clear levels, it could be the time that our Bitcoin dominance is going to do that run. Let me go to the 5-year view again. It could be the time Bitcoin dominance is just going to blast up and the alts are going to really suffer. So we may see them going from partly near fails to complete all-on fails right now in the next little while. And we'll have to start watching all over again for our 1, 2, 3 bottoms in those altcoin markets. Eventually, we'll find some huge opportunities there. It'll come. So if there are any other markets you want me to take a look at, I can quickly buzz through those. But that wraps us up for today so that we got through the main content of our Big 6. And we got some idea of what to do, pretty much nothing, except money should be in Bitcoin right now. It looks like that's where the game is. All right, so if you haven't already, click on the links down below this video to join us on Discord so that we can chat about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin all through the day, not just when we're doing the live stream. All sorts of good stuff in the description down below. I will sign off with a bit of gratitude for the people who are making this stream possible. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.